Let's talk about anti-Semitism, and let's talk, or antisemitism, as Albanese likes to pronounce it, and his government. There was a report handed down. There was a report handed down by Gillian Siegel, and the report is sitting on the Prime. Maybe he read it on the plane to China. Who knows? But there are many recommendations in there. Many of them are great. Defunding the ABC and defunding universities. We've been talking about that on this show since October 8th. 2023, and the anti-Semitism we've seen in this country, Rita.
Yes, and the Prime Minister did have a press conference with Ms Siegel on Thursday, and he's promised quick action on this report. And this report is pretty comprehensive. I've got a couple of issues with segments of it, but overall, it does seem to be a solid plan in tackling this issue by removing funding, for example, from universities that will not acknowledge or in any way really tackle the anti-Semitism problem they've helped create. They haven't just tolerated it, they've promoted it in many cases. So, and I like the fact that it dealt with, from what I could see, predominantly with the issue at hand. It wasn't conflating this with other issues, because when the special envoy to tackle anti-Semitism was announced last year, the Prime Minister was very quick to promote, we're going to create the same role for Islamophobia, of course. It's always, you know, this both-sidism that they indulge in, but it seems like now they've realised this is an actual problem that is happening now, that needs attention now.
But that's why I'm so cynical about this, Rita, because all the way up through the election, it's anti-Semitism and Islamophobia.
Yeah, that's right.
And Islamophobia. Yeah. And, you know, now that we've got the election out of the way and Labor's got its majority, now we can have the report. Now we can have the conversation about anti-Semitism. This shows the weakness of the Albanese government, that they were unwilling to drop this report or do anything about this in any real substantive way until after the election. So I have a lot of concerns about the timing of this. I think the stuff around the ABC is great, and the calling out a lot of the biased reporting by the ABC and their willingness to accept the most ludicrous stories from the Gazan side without any sort of thinking it through. And we'll talk to Chris Merritt a bit later about that. But of course, as always with these things, you do always have to be concerned that there is going to be, out of this, broader restrictions on speech. And, you know, we've seen what happened in New South Wales, and a lot of this is symptomatic of sort of the broader problem that we don't have proper free speech rights in this country, and that, you know, there's an attitude among some politicians and some leaders that really, whenever there's anything that's a hate crime, what that should be used for is an excuse to take more control of our lives by the government.